along the way, even though some things have failed. Look, I was afraid to leave my comfort zone, my country, to move to Europe. I was afraid to write a book, but it's done. I was afraid to start a blog. I have been going on with that blog for 5 years. I was afraid to begin YouTube. Hello beautiful people, welcome back. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Like really, I hope you're doing well. I'm always glad to have you guys here. Anyway, today I will be talking about how to overcome the fear of starting and how to stay confident, while creating. Now, I chose this topic because this is one thing that I have been dealing with, and I know a few people that are close to me who have also been struggling with their confidence level and also procrastinating towards starting anything new. That is a huge problem, and we're going to deal with it in this video. So the first thing I want to say is that starting anything new can be daunting, and the reason is because when you decide to make a change in whatsoever aspect of your life, what you're doing is stepping outside of your comfort zone, that safe space which you have known for a while. So you're no longer in that cocoon of yours, and it is frightening. Your self-confidence just starts to drop, and it happens to even the best of us. So if you're feeling that way, if you've been thinking of, starting something new and you've been feeling that type of way, that is a very normal feeling. So the first thing I would like to say is acknowledge that feeling. Know why you're feeling that way. Where does it come from? Is it from sharing your idea and you get a negative remark? Is it from your own personal self-doubt? You just don't believe in the idea enough to even put it out there. So the first thing, even though this sounds cliche, is to start. Whatever it is you've been nurturing, whatever it is that you want to begin, go ahead and do it. You're going to start messy, you're going to start frightened, it's going to mess with your self-confidence. But you see, nothing grows and nothing can be completed if you do not start it. And I'll tell you something about me. I am the chief executive officer of being afraid to begin anything itself. But there's also one thing that I like about myself, which is that I dare to do, even though I am afraid, even though it messes up along the way, even though some things have failed. Look, I was afraid to leave my comfort zone, my country, to move to Europe. I was afraid to write a book, but it's done. I was afraid to start a blog. I have been going on with that blog for 5 years. I was afraid to begin YouTube, and I'm here shooting this video. So I don't know what to tell you if you are still sitting down there considering and contemplating starting what it is, because see, the last thing you want to do is die with your music inside of you. The last thing you want to do is go on with your talent, because there's a whole world out there waiting for you. There's a whole world out there waiting to be inspired by what you have to give. And as much as you feel that you're not enough, you're not good enough, you don't feel confident, you don't feel like you have something to offer, that's a big lie that you're telling yourself. Because I used to say this thing to myself: what did this person see in me to even think that my post inspires them? But there's nothing like being true to your calling. Which brings me to my second point, and that is remember your why. Now, when we start anything new and we're expecting results, or we're expecting positive feedbacks, we're expecting growth, which is normal, and it's not happening at a time that we expect it to happen, we begin to feel, disappointed. We begin to doubt ourselves, we begin to doubt our abilities, we begin to feel that we are not good enough. Now, there's one thing I like to do, which is come back to the reason as to why I even started it. Because you would always feel at some point that you're not good enough if you don't get those validations, which as human beings we are always seeking. I like to remind myself of my core values, and that is why it is so important to know your purpose. And we're all still evolving, but when I say purpose, I mean those things that you could happily do without even a reward. What are those things that bring you joy, those things that make you, happy? even when there's no result, no reward, you just keep going and you keep doing that. So once you know that purpose, you will not do the things that do not align with your purpose. Another thing I would like to say is to stay open. Now, when we have an idea or something new we would like to create, I think that it's very important to seek the opinion of someone who genuinely loves us and someone we can trust, you know. And most times as humans, our expectation of a feedback is always positive in our head, that when an honest opinion comes back or not what we're expecting, we kind of forget again the reason why we started. We forget our values, we forget our why. And that's why it is important to put it at the back of your mind always, that not everybody's gonna like your idea, not everybody's gonna be comfortable with your purpose, not everybody's gonna even like you, because that's how the world is, and that's okay. Another thing I like to say is to master your skill. Now, this is very important because as a creative, you want to make sure that you are on top of your game. I like to say something, and that is, you can be good at everything, but you can be best at one. So know your skill, improve yourself, search for like minds. You know, if you are a content creator, for example, a YouTuber, and you're making inspirational videos, you could search for people in that niche and learn from them. And please do not copy, because the world is waiting for you as you are. The world is waiting for fresh ideas. The world is waiting for originality. And you never know who is waiting to be inspired by what you have to offer. Now, before I go, there is a little thing I would like for you guys to do. Go back and visualize how it would look like, how it will feel like doing, let's say, one thing among the many others that we've been putting, away. Go back and visualize, like I said, how it feels and how it would look like doing that thing. And then don't think about reasons as to why it shouldn't work, it shouldn't, be done. So the next step is to start. If you were waiting for me to say something deep, on a serious note, go back and do that thing that has been calling your name for a long time. You never know who's waiting to hear from you. You never know who's waiting to be inspired by you. So that'll be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next video.